Before the Avengers, before the spy, before the red in her ledger, there was only Natasha Romanoff, but the world didn't know her by that name. To them, she was just another shadow, another whisper in the dark, code name. Black Widow, she wasn't born in darkness, but she was raised by it. Her story doesn't begin with a choice, it begins with a cage, deep in the heart of Russia, hidden beneath cold stone and cruel science. There was a place, a program, a nightmare, the Red Room. It didn't train girls, it rewired them. They were taken as children, orphans, stolen, forgotten, and one by one they were broken. Physically, emotionally, completely, then rebuilt. Not as humans, but as weapons. The Red Room created assassins. Perfect, silent, untraceable. And Natasha? She was their masterpiece. She learned ballet to mask her footsteps. She learned charm to twist loyalty. She learned 20 ways to kill a man. Before her 16th birthday, pain became routine. Emotion became weakness. Love was a lie. They trained her to lie so well. She forgot who she really was. She killed without hesitation. Carried out missions for people she never met. Took down governments with a whisper. But the Red Room didn't just control her body. They controlled her mind. Psychological manipulation, hallucinogens, neural conditioning. By the time she was done, Natasha Romanoff no longer existed. Only the Black Widow remained. She was sent all over the world. To kill, to sabotage, to seduce. And every time she succeeded, they tightened their grip. The Red Room believed emotions made you weak. So they took hers, piece by piece, until there was almost nothing left. But something remained. A spark. A memory. A question. Who am I really? And that question became a fire. She began to doubt. She began to remember. Not all of it, just glimpses. A childhood laugh. A warm hand. A name she'd forgotten. And that was dangerous. The Red Room doesn't allow second thoughts. So they sent others, widows, to keep her in line. To silence her before the truth returned. But it was too late. She was already awake. One mission went wrong. A target she couldn't kill. A child caught in the crossfire. And something inside her broke. Not the coldness. Not the silence. But the wall. And when that wall broke, the memories came flooding back. She wasn't a ghost. She wasn't just a weapon. She was a person. And she wanted her life back. But there's no retiring from the Red Room. They don't let you leave. They don't let you remember. They don't let you live. So Natasha ran. Hunted. Alone. Afraid. She wasn't trying to save the world. She was just trying to survive it. And in the shadows, she met a man. A man with an eye patch and a plan. Nick Fury. He didn't see her as a killer. He saw her as an asset. Useful. Dangerous. But redeemable. And that's when her story changed. The assassin became the spy. The spy became the Avenger. But the ghost of the Red Room? It never left her. Because no matter how many lives she saved, no matter how many times she fought beside heroes, she still saw the faces of the ones she couldn't save. She still heard the voices, the whispers. The Red Room didn't die. It just hid. Waiting. Watching. Even as an Avenger, even standing beside gods, soldiers, and monsters, Natasha Romanoff never forgot where she came from. Because the past doesn't fade. It waits. Like a poison beneath the skin. And the Red Room was still out there. Buried in shadows. Creating more widows. Perfecting control. And Natasha knew, to move forward, she had to go back. But going back meant facing the worst parts of herself. The lives she ended. The lies she lived. And the family she lost. Yes, family. Not by blood. But by survival. Yelena. Melina. Alexei. Pieces of a cover story that somehow became real. Together, they were planted deep inside America as a fake family. Part of a mission. Just another lie. But to a young Natasha, it was the closest thing to love she ever knew. And now, years later, they were the only ones who could help her tear the Red Room down. It wouldn't be easy. The Red Room had evolved. More widows. More control. And at the top, Dreykov, the man who turned children into killers, who erased Natasha's life, who made her believe she could never be free. But she came for him, not for revenge, for justice, for every girl who never escaped, for every life stolen, for every whisper of the Red Room that still lingered in the dark. And this time she wasn't alone. Yelena, angry and raw, yet brilliant. Melina, part mother, part scientist, torn between past and future. And Alexei, the Red Guardian, flawed, loud, but loyal. Together, they broke through the silence. They shattered the illusion. They burned the Red Room to the ground. And when it was over, Natasha stood in the ashes of her past. No longer running. No longer hiding. The weapon was gone. The woman remained. But even then, she knew her time was short. The world was changing. Lines were being drawn. The Avengers were falling apart. And Natasha? She was ready to make one final choice. When half the universe disappeared, she didn't flinch. She took the lead. She held the broken pieces together. And when the chance came to undo it, to bring back everything they lost, she didn't hesitate. She gave her life so others could live. And in that moment, on that cliff, in silence, without glory, she became more than an assassin, more than a spy, more than a hero. She became free, because freedom isn't escape. It's choice. And for the first time, Natasha chose. She chose sacrifice. She chose love. She chose us. The world remembers her as Black Widow. But her greatest power was never the fighting, never the espionage. It was that she came from darkness and chose to be the light.